Hey everyone, and welcome. You know, sometimes to understand the future, you have to look way back into the past. Today, we're diving into a nearly century-old disaster to pull out a lesson that is absolutely critical for the AI revolution. So, let's get right into it. So, picture this. On one side, you've got the Hindenburg, the undisputed queen of the skies back in 1937. It was this massive symbol of progress, of luxury. And on the other side, well, that's us, right now, living through the AI revolution that promises to change, well, pretty much everything. Both of these are moments of just incredible promise and huge ambition.
But on May 6, 1937, that beautiful dream of the Hindenburg became a total nightmare. As it was coming into land in New Jersey, it just burst into flames. We're talking 34 seconds. In 34 seconds, this magnificent symbol of the future was just gone.
And that brings us to the big question for today, right? What on earth can a forgotten airship from almost 100 years ago teach us about the AI gold rush we're all caught up in? The answer, as you're about to see, is a whole lot.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. It all starts with the golden promise. See, every single great technological leap, whether it's airships or artificial intelligence, it always kicks off with this huge, grand vision of a better, faster, more incredible future.
And oh man, the Hindenburg was the perfect picture of that promise. I mean, this was not just a way to get from point A to point B, it was a literal palace in the sky. Think about it. Private sleeping rooms, a full dining room. There was even a lounge with a grand piano. It was the absolute peak of luxury, and for Germany, a massive symbol of national pride. A single ticket, get this, would cost over $7,000 in today's money.
Okay, now let's jump to today's promise, the AI gold rush. It's not just about some flashy new app. As investor Dan Martell often points out, the real mind-boggling money is in shaking up what he calls boring industries. And it makes so much sense, right? Optimizing supply chains, automating all that painful admin work, making local home services way more efficient. These are trillion-dollar industries just sitting there, waiting for AI to come in and reinvent them.
But look, having a golden promise is one thing. Actually turning that incredible idea into a real thing that people can use, well, that's a whole other story. That's the journey filled with struggle, with failure, and with an enormous amount of risk. You just have to look at the guy who invented these things, Ferdinand von Zeppelin. This guy was persistence personified. His first airship, damaged on landing. His second, a part broke before it even got off the ground. His fourth airship was totally obliterated in a storm. I mean, this guy faced disaster after disaster, even had to mortgage his wife's property just to keep the dream alive, before he finally got one accepted.
Now contrast Zeppelin's bet-it-all approach with the way Dan Martell teaches entrepreneurs today. Sell it before you build it. It's a game changer. Instead of pouring millions into something you only hope people want, you start small. You mock up a simple prototype, you go find your first 50 customers, your founding 50, and you build the thing with them. You go to potential buyers and ask for their advice, not their money. And that gets them bought in. This way you prove the idea works and even fund its creation before you've risked everything. It's just a much smarter way to go.
But here's where the story takes a dark turn. Because even with a fantastic promise, and even with a product people want, a single, overlooked, fatal flaw can bring the whole thing crashing to the ground.
And this right here is the core lesson. The Hindenburg's fatal flaw was hydrogen. The very gas that gave it lift, the thing that made it fly, was also catastrophically flammable. For so many AI startups today, the hidden flaw is just as fundamental: low profit margins. It's the silent killer that just burns through all your cash and makes it impossible to grow no matter how amazing your idea is.
So what's the fix? Well, it's a high margin model. And all that means is that your profit is a really big piece of your revenue. It's simple, right? If you sell something for $100 and it only costs you $10 to make and deliver it, you've got a 90% margin. That's the superpower of AI software and digital products. They can have margins of 90, even 95%. And that creates a powerful financial shield around the business.
So here's the absolute key point. This quote from Dan Martell just nails it. Revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, but cash flow is for your vitality. Having a lot of revenue looks cool, but it doesn't mean your business is healthy. Profit is where you start getting smart, but cash flow, the actual money coming into your business from those fat margins, that's what keeps the lights on. That's your lifeblood. Without it, you're just flying a very beautiful, very flammable airship.
So let's pull all of this together.
What are the big lessons here? What can we, as the people building and investing in the age of AI, actually take away from this incredible story from the past?
It really forces us to ask a tough question. As we're building these amazing new AI companies and tools, what is our hydrogen problem? What's the one thing that we might be taking for granted that could bring the whole beautiful thing down?
So here's the breakdown. First, the promise and the hype aren't enough. In fact, they can blind you to real problems. Second, being persistent is great, but it has to be smart persistence. The old build it and they will come model is just too risky now. Third, you've got to find your hydrogen, that hidden weak spot, which for so many AI businesses is weak cash flow from low margins. And finally, you have to consciously choose the safer element. The Hindenburg's creators knew about non-flammable helium, they just couldn't get it. For an AI founder today, choosing a high-margin business model is choosing helium over hydrogen.
You know, the Hindenburg disaster, it didn't just end one flight. It ended the entire age of the airship, just like that. The technology was basically abandoned. But the principles here, about innovation, about risk, about choosing the right foundation to build on, those are absolutely timeless. They're just as true today as they were back in 1937.
And that really leaves us with one last massive question to think about. In this exciting, crazy new era of AI with all its unbelievable promise, are we making the right choices? Are we building with stable, safe, non-flammable helium, or are we strapping ourselves to a beautiful,